Okay. Let's just, Michael, why don't you introduce yourself? You guys can, I'm going to start recording the meeting and we'll get started. I'll let in guys as we go. Keith, you want to translate that?
I'm sorry, you said, I didn't hear you. Go ahead and repeat that, Simon.
We're just going to start real quick now. I'll let in guys as we move along.
Oh, okay. Dice Simon que ya vamos a iniciar y que conforme se va presentando gente, los va a abrir la reunión. A propósito, buenas tardes, soy Keith Rosenblum, soy tío de Simon en Tucson, Arizona, a sus órdenes.
Okay, gracias.
And so I'm Simon Rosenblum Larson, as you guys probably know, director of programs for More Than Baseball, current minor leaguer with the Rays. Here for you guys if you have any questions, but we'll mostly just stay in the background. Let the guys from Driveline talk. We're really excited to have them.
Oh, okay. Dice Simon que él es el director o subdirector del grupo y que le va a dar mucho gusto poderlos atender y que a propósito se está grabando la reunión en todo caso. Entonces, con los errores que su servidor cometa, mándenme ustedes algo por escrito, yo los rectifico después. Muchos de los términos en béisbol no los reconozco y después voy a estar checando, ¿ok?
Okay.
Go ahead, Michael Max.
Okay, Michael Max.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Michael. I work at Driveline. I'm the director of education and I coach as well for some of our youth teams. And then with me today is Max Gordon, who's been one of our hitting coordinators and also works in our player development department.
Él es el director de Driveline y le acompaña Max, o el compañero. I'm sorry, what's the assistant's name? Max Gordon, ahí está en la pantalla, perdón. Okay, del béisbol juvenil y de otros niveles. Go ahead.
Cool. So I'm going to start basically kind of first question is like how to utilize your time best for training.
Lo primero, voy a empezar con esto. ¿Cuál es el tiempo de utilizar su tiempo en la mejor manera en el entrenamiento?
So we break it down for pitching, kind of three main things, which is just like velocity, pitch movement, and command.
Cuando se trata de lanzar, se trata de tres cosas, de velocidad, dominio de los lanzamientos. I'm sorry, what was the third one? There was velocity, command, and what was the final one?
Movement, just pitch movement and command.
Y movimiento de sus lanzamientos. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And on hitting, it's pretty much down to bat speed, barrel control, and approach.
Cuando se trata de batear, se trata del control del barril y el movimiento del swing. Go ahead.
So basically, we try to take and kind of grade players and basically think of those three buckets. So like, how good are you in those three buckets and what's your biggest place to improve?
Tenemos lo que se llama los tres balas o balas para determinar y clasificarlos. What are those classifications?
For like hittings?
Yes.
The three for hitting is bat speed, barrel control, and like approach. Or swing
okay,
decisions.
Velocidad del barril, acercamiento, bat speed, barrel approach, and what's the other one?
Barrel control and approach.
Y acercamiento.
Like hard contact. Yeah.
Para hacer contacto duro. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically it's all about dividing up how much time you need to spend on one based on your strengths and weaknesses.
Todo se trata de decir cuál es el enfoque que se va a hacer uno con sus fuerzas y sus debilidades. Go ahead.
So on the pitching side, it's mostly broken up to, obviously you need to throw really hard.
Por el lado del lanzamiento se trata de lanzar bien duro. Go ahead.
To be super simple, usually the more your pitch can move and the harder it is, the better.
Para ser muy sencillo en el asunto, el más que mueva su lanzamiento, su velocidad mejor. Go ahead.
And then command can change a little bit. So it depends on basically like, can you throw kind of like big picture and then you can work it down per pitch.
Y el dominio de su lanzamiento y se puede ir refinando sobre el dominio del lanzamiento por cada lanzamiento. Go ahead.
And then also for command, it's going to depend on like how often you're going to throw each pitch.
Y luego en cuanto al comando, dominio, se trata de qué tan frecuente se va a lanzar cada pitch o cada lanzamiento. Go ahead.
So there's a little nuance there for some some kind of like in-season work, but those are like the big kind of three things that we orient around on the pitching side.
Esos son los detallitos. Hay otras cosas que se pueden hacer durante la temporada, pero esos son los puntos en que enfocamos durante el off-season. Siga. Go ahead.
Okay. Max, do you want to cover some of the just like the basics of the hitting, and then I'll go back to
Le
some
pregunta a
pitching
Max
things?
si no quiere tocar asuntos del batear. Go ahead.
So on the hitting side, one of the things that we're looking for is going to be bat speed.
Por el lado del lanzamiento, uno que vamos checando es la velocidad del bat. Go ahead.
The reason for this is the harder you swing the bat, the harder you're going to hit the ball, which is going to give you more opportunity to get hits or
El
home runs,
motivo
extra
para eso es que
bases.
más duro el impacto con la pelota, obviamente más poderoso la salida y la posibilidad de conseguir los hits. Go ahead.
The next thing is going to be bat to ball skills or barrel contact.
Lo próximo
And
es
really-
bat to ball, es pelota al bateo, al bat. Go ahead.
So how often are you hitting the ball square, and how often is that ball going to be like driven at a high exit velocity?
Ok, ¿y qué tan frecuente el contacto con el bat sea centrado en el bat y luego qué va a ser la velocidad saliendo del bat? Go ahead.
So then after that, once we kind of figure out how hard you can swing the bat and how often you can make quality contact, we're going to look for what is your decision-making skills and how good you are at swing decisions based on your heat maps.
Ok, luego ya una vez viendo el impacto que se hace con la pelota, ya vamos a estar viendo el juicio que ejercen cada uno de ustedes en cuanto a la decisión de swing o de no swing y lo que es el sistema mental, para decirlo así. Go ahead.
Yeah, so really what we want to find out is what is your weakness in these three buckets and where can we make the largest improvements quickly.
Entonces, realmente lo que queremos identificar es cuáles son las tres debilidades principales de estos tres baldes. Él está llamando a los segmentos, los baldes, buckets, y luego ya determinar cuáles sus debilidades y luego enfocar en la forma de superarlos. Go ahead.
OC, I'll let you take it back.
Okay. So in the off season, we'll break down plans on month by month.
Entonces, durante la postemporada vamos a hacer los planes mes por mes. Go ahead.
The closer to the season, the more game-like the training is going to be.
Que más vas acercando la temporada, más se aproximar a un juego real. Go ahead.
So think like scrimmages, live ABs, that kind of stuff will be right
Vamos a
before the
pensar
season.
en las prácticas reales o vivo en vida y luego las situaciones de los juegos. Go ahead.
And the more we move to the beginning of the off season, the more we'll probably focus on things like velocity or bat speed.
Y luego, you said more as you go moving toward off season, is that what you said?
At the beginning of the off season.
Okay. Y luego al inicio de la postemporada se va checando lo que es la velocidad del contacto bat con pelota. Go ahead.
So on the pitching side, the beginning of the off season, we'll be more focused on probably lifting and doing velocity work.
Por el lado del lanzamiento, entonces, va a ser, I'm sorry, you said for pitching, it's going to be velocity work. And what was the other? Oh, wait.
And
Va a ser de pesas y de velocidades. Go ahead.
Yep. And then middle of the off season, we'll be probably like half velocity and then start to do more pitch movement.
Y luego ya durante la mitad del postemporada va a ser velocidad y luego movimiento del picheo. Go ahead.
And then, like I said, the end will be more like a mix of everything, kind of seeing how things are in, scrimmages and live at-bats.
Y luego hacia el fin del postemporada va a ser una mezcla de todo, checando lo que son las prácticas y los bateos simulados en vivo. Go ahead.
And then Max, on the hitting side, I know it's like a bit mixed, but it's a similar kind of concept, right?
Dice él que Max, él sabe que por el lado del bateo va a ser una mezcla parecida. Go ahead.
Yeah, the scheme is very similar. So we're going to look at creating some more strength and rotational speed and working on bat speed early in the off season.
El escenario es muy parecido, dice, que se va a ver examinando lo que es la velocidad del bateo y luego, I'm sorry, you said bat speed, and what were the other factors, Max?
Rotational speeds.
Y luego las velocidades de la rotación. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then we get into more mixed pitches and really like training with high speed pitching machines and trying to work on like, different pitches.
Entrando en lo que son los lanzamientos mezclados o mixtos y luego trabajando con las, you say working with pitching machines, trabajando con máquinas de lanzamiento. Go ahead.
And then once we have created the ability to make hitters a little bit more adjustable, hitting different pitches, we will go into some more swing decision type focuses.
Okay, una vez que hemos creado el poder de estar recibiendo, estar atento a las mismas lanzamientos, eso es luego se va a empezar con el proceso mental, o sea, el juicio de swing o no swing. Go ahead.
I'm going to
Yeah,
jump
so
in
we
here real
might-
quick, Max and Michael. I'm actually going to launch a poll in the chat and figure out what position you guys all play. Figure out how many pitchers we have, how many hitters we have, and we'll tailor our webinar more towards one or the other if we have more. So if you
Yeah,
guys see on your Zoom, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dice Simon que sería buen momento para adaptar
un poll, un
la
quiz.
conferencia a lo que son los talentos o las habilidades de los peloteros. Entonces va a mandar una encuesta para que ustedes respondan sobre su posición, porfa.
¿Alguien tiene una pregunta? Ahí, un mano.
But you need to, are they responding to you, Simon, or is it just, or you need to
I'm
respond
seeing
to
a-
one?
Sí, Victor.
¿De qué se basa esta organización, como este programa, de qué se basa específicamente?
Okay, can you provide the background on this organization specifically, Simon?
So, Michael, you guys want to just reintroduce Driveline a little bit and talk a little bit about what
Okay,
you guys do?
pide Simon que Michael presente de nuevo lo que es la organización, de quiénes son. Okay, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, so we do player development in Seattle.
Hacemos desarrollo de talento en Seattle. Go ahead.
We utilize a lot of weighted balls and weighted bats.
Utilizamos mucho en el mundo de pelotas pesadas y también bats pesados. Go ahead.
And then do also a lot with technology, so bat sensors, Rapsodo, TrackMan.
Y mucho con tecnología del batear, incluyendo sensores. What did you say? I'm sorry, besides sensors, what else did you say? With the technology?
Rapsodo, bat sensors, Rapsodo, TrackMan.
Rapsodo y TrackMan. Esos son
Yeah.
los programas.
So
que
basically,
utilizan.
trying to be like data-driven player development. So trying to
Tratando
measure
de
where
ser-
players are.
de tener estrategias basadas en datos. Go ahead.
So measuring where you are, comparing to where you want to be, and then trying to get you there.
Midiendo dónde están ahorita, dónde aspiran estar y encontrar la forma para hacerlos llegar a sus destinos. Go ahead.
Great. So it looks like our poll, we have mostly pitchers here, a little over 50%. But again, it's a fairly even split. So we'll keep working on, we have a lot of pitchers, but we also have a lot of hitters. So we'll keep switching back and forth between.
Dice Simon que es como la mitad entre lanzadores y bateadores. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see where to go next. I think we can go. If there's no kind of like question, I guess we can ask if there's any questions on like.
Okay, es buen momento, dice, pausemos un segundo para ver si ustedes tengan alguna pregunta hasta el momento. Si todo le queda claro o si tienen alguna pregunta. ¿Alguien?
Sí,
con duda?
quiero hacer una pregunta.
Diga.
¿Cómo puedo tratar de mejorar un poco mis breaking pitch? O sea, mis
Okay.
pichos.
The question is, how can he wants to go over the specifics of how he would improve his breaking pitches.
It's tough to do just over Zoom, but generally, like the kind of things to look for is basically like how fast the pitch spins, so like the spin rate.
Okay, obviamente dices bien difícil explicarlo o mostrarlo sobre Zoom, pero un factor sería, and this is where, eso sí, Michael, this is where I need your help. Say that exactly. What did you tell him there? Because I'm going to try to convey it my best.
El rotación, el dirección y the amount of rotation.
Y la cantidad de rotación. Okay. Go ahead.
So I don't think I can say like exact specifics. If you do, well, you can say that and then I'll continue.
No le puedo proporcionar específicos porque por lo difícil de este foro, pero go ahead.
But if you do have like an iPhone,
pero si tiene usted un iPhone,
you can like put it, I guess, behind you so you can see the ball at release.
Póngalo atrás de usted y cuando lo suelte va a ver lo que es la dirección y la rotación. Go ahead, Michael.
And then you can make kind of hand adjustments based off what you see on the
y luego pueden hacer ajustes en su mano según lo que aparezca en el video. Go ahead.
That's probably like the easiest thing. Just can't give like too many specifics without knowing what, you know, like what it is.
Okay, eso a grosso modo, eso es lo que le puedo decir sin ver los específicos, pero eso sí le quería explicar. Okay, good. ¿Alguna otra pregunta? ¿Algún del grupo? I asked if there's any other questions in the group. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would say no. Go ahead then and just continue, Michael or Matt.
Okay. Yeah. So
you were explaining. I'm sorry. You explained it. You explained properly on what the origins of the group. I think that's what had them puzzled or wanted to know more about. But I think we did a good job. Let me just double check that. Muchachos, pregunte. Nomás quiero estar seguro que sí no hay duda sobre quiénes son o a qué se dedica este grupo, ¿no? Estar satisfechos.
Tenemos un mano desde Carlos.
A what? A mato?
Yeah, we have somebody raised his hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Carlos. ¿Tiene una duda, Carlos? Okay. Let's just move forward then.
Preguntó.
El otro Carlos. Creo que hay dos.
Carlos Garcia. Hago esa pregunta.
Sí, diga.
He said in the chat he can't use his mic, but
okay. Does he have a okay?
Go ahead, Michael. We can continue and I'll have him type his question to me.
Yeah, so I'll kind of continue with some like basic things that we do in gym.
Voy a seguir con unas cosas una de las actividades que hacemos en el gimnasio. Go ahead.
So on the pitching side, we'll use what we call plyo care balls, which are like soft sandfield balls.
Por el lado del picheo, usamos unas pelotas que se llama, what's the name of those balls again once more, because I couldn't catch the whole term.
Plyo balls.
Le llamamos pelotas plyo o plyo, okay? Go ahead.
We'll use those for like mechanics and day-to-day like throwing fitness.
Lo utilizamos para lo que es la mecánica del lanzamiento y del fitness, como de sanidad o terapia de lanzarse. Go ahead.
And then we'll use weighted balls, so like 3, 4, 6, 7 ounce weighted balls for velocity work.
Y luego usamos las pelotas pesadas de 3, 4, I'm sorry, how many ounces did you say? 3, 4?
3, 4, 6, and 7.
3, 4, 6 y 7 onzas para hacer el trabajo de fuerza. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll use more technology, whether it's Rapsodo, TrackMan, and like a camera for pitch movement.
Luego usamos tecnología de las marcas que él mencionaba para el movimiento de sus lanzamientos. Go ahead.
And then on the hitting side, we'll use weighted bats.
Y por el lado del bateador, utilizamos los bats pesados.
Yep, so underload, overload, we'll use longer bats, shorter bats to work on mechanics.
Para trabajar en la mecánica del swing, utilizamos los bats más largos. Did you say longer bats and heavier?
Yeah, longer
and you
bats
also say
and
shorter?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, y también bats más cortitos. Go ahead.
And then we'll also hit basically what we call hitting plyos. So other kind of like soft field balls.
You call
Sand field
them
balls.
hitting what? I'm sorry, hitting.
Just hitting plyos.
Oh, y luego también lo que ellos llaman plyos para estar bateando para la práctica. Go ahead.
So we'll take in pitchers and hitters, basically see what they're good at, and then apply specific kind of drills for their needs.
Okay, entonces convocamos o juntamos los lanzadores y los bateadores, los analizamos y luego adaptemos un programa especial para cada uno. Go ahead.
Michael, let's go over some specific drills that guys can do with some plyo balls, if they have
Sure.
access to them.
Yeah, if they have access to them, the easiest one would be a reverse throw.
Si tienen acceso a los plyo, las pelotas plyo, le pregunta Simon a Michael cuál sería unas prácticas de rutinas para andar empezando. Y dice Michael que unos serían, what did you say the most basic would be, the most basic drill?
The first would be like reverse throws.
Sería tiros al revés. Go ahead.
So you'd be, let's see how I can describe this
A ver
concisely.
cómo lo describo.
So like kneeling down
Por
and then
de-
basically throwing the ball, basically throwing the ball
agachado.
behind you.
agachado de rodillas, agarrando la pelota y tirando de atrás. Go ahead.
I'll do like two more. The next one would probably be pivot pickoffs.
I
I don't know how that one's going to translate.
El próximo sería el pickoff de pivot. Pivot siendo el movimiento de los pies. Voy a buscar el término después, lo desconozco. I'll find that
Yes.
later. I just described the movement of the feet for the pivot. Okay, go ahead.
Como para las bases.
Okay, gracias. Muy amable.
So picture standing like 45 degrees from the target. So if the
Entonces,
target,
Visualizan estando 45% de grado de su blanco. Go ahead.
and you rotate your upper body back and
Y
then throw.
se rota el parte superior del cuerpo para atrás. Go ahead.
That would probably be the second one. And then
Eso sería la segunda maniobra o segundo movimiento. Go ahead.
next one would just be like a step back, which
Y el
is
tercer sería, él lo llama step back, y esto consiste, go ahead,
so think like stand in an athletic position.
póngase en el athletic position, you said?
Yeah, just like a athletic position.
En el posicionamiento atlético. Go ahead.
And then slide back on your back leg
Y
and
luego
then
resbale
step forward and
con
throw.
el peso para atrás y luego tomar un paso por adelante y hacer el seguimiento, el follow through. Go ahead.
Yep. And then kind of like the last one we do is close to like it's called a walking windup.
Y el último que hacemos sería, la llamamos walking windup, que es un lanzamiento entero. Go ahead.
Which would be like just taking a step into like a normal throw.
Que consistiría en tomando el paso en lo que va a ser un tiro normal. Go ahead.
I believe AJ had a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I do. Major Ramos here. I don't know if you want me to translate back to Spanish or you do it.
No, I appreciate you asking me English, and I'll do my best to go back into Spanish if you help me.
I just wanted to know, what's the proper way to use, how often and for how long? Because I've seen people, I throw them around, but it's not like doing it with a purpose. I just do it to, all right, let me see how this works, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't gotten it myself because I don't know how it works, so I don't want to mess up my arm,
We couldn't hear what you broke up when you were describing what it is you're talking about. Were you talking about a weighted ball or weighted bat? Would you re-ask the question?
Well, all right, I'm just yeah. So I just want to know what's the proper way to use them, because I've used them before. I don't know if you want to translate that.
But what are we talking about? Are we talking about
The weighted balls, right?
The weighted balls, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. Sí, la pregunta tiene que ver con cuál sería el uso correcto para no lastimarse con las pelotas pesadas, los weighted balls, porque él lo quiere utilizar, pero le da pendiente hacer algo que le vaya a lastimar. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you pretty much said the whole question in Spanish already, so I'm just gonna say it in English, finish it. because I've done it before, but I don't want to do it and get hurt. That's why I have not gotten it for myself. I've just done it from friends, using friends' balls.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can answer that. Go ahead.
Yeah, AJ, is it like a question of like sets and reps on like a number, like a day or like a weekly schedule?
Yeah, kind of like daily and weekly. Yeah.
Le está preguntando sobre lo que el ritual o lo que sería el programa, es decir, diariamente o semanalmente. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, so the easiest way, I think Simon, I sent a free 8-week program to you too. I can send that, but I can go over it briefly.
Dice que le mandé a Simon un programa gratis de 8 semanas, pero con mucho gusto ahorita lo sintetizo aquí con ustedes. Go ahead.
But for like reverse throws and pivot pickoffs, usually it's 2 sets of 10.
Para los reverse throws y los pivot pickoffs que platicamos antes son 10. Go ahead.
Usually with the green ball, so the green plyo.
Con la pelota plyo de verde.
And then the other drills, we'll do 2 throws of the blue, red, yellow, and gray ball.
Y las demás hacemos 2 rondas. Las pelotas, what were the colors again?
Blue, red, yellow, and gray.
Blue, red, rojo, azul, gris, blue, red, y amarillo. Okay.
Yeah.
Acabo de enviar el programa en el chat. I just sent the program in the chat that Michael sent over.
Okay. Go ahead, Michael. Or other questions?
Carlos had asked if he's interested in learning how to maintain his velocity to be more consistent. Michael, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, besides I think there's always a standard of, just kind of like, how are you eating, how are you sleeping?
Uno de los, para mantener el control, fue la pregunta, y la respuesta es, ¿cómo está su dieta, cómo está comiendo y cómo está durmiendo? Go ahead, Michael.
Otherwise, it's best to look at throwing volume and intensity.
De otra forma, se trata del volumen y la intensidad. Go ahead.
So, like, how many throws are you doing per day?
Así que cuántas tiradas o cuántos tiros están haciendo por día.
And how hard, like, how much effort are you putting into those throws?
Y qué tanto esfuerzo están haciendo en cada tiro, cada lanzamiento. Go ahead.
So there is technology that can measure it, like Modus.
Sí hay tecnología que les puede dar una medida como I'm sorry, Lotus, is that what you said?
Modus, M-O-T-U-S.
Motus se llama M-O-T-E-S. Go ahead.
Otherwise, just keeping like a log.
De otra forma, manteniendo un tipo de un diario. Go ahead.
Of like when you're pitching and what you're doing in practice.
¿Qué estás haciendo durante el picheo? ¿Qué estás haciendo durante el picheo, la práctica? Go ahead.
To kind of like look and see to see how that matches up with like how you feel or what your velocity is in games.
Para ver eso cómo corresponde con cómo usted siente y luego su velocidad durante los juegos. Go ahead.
So you want to match up, like if you're throwing too much before the game.
Se quiere corresponder. Si por ejemplo usted está tirando demasiado antes del juego. Go ahead.
Or if it's like a day, or if you're throwing too much or not enough the day before.
O si está tirando o lanzando demasiado el día anterior o el día después. Go ahead.
And then just keep track of it to see kind of like how it matches up with what the velocity is.
Y luego como manteniendo un registro, un tipo de rastreo para ver cómo corresponde con lo que es su actuación. Go ahead.
That's probably the simplest, like low tech way to do it.
Eso sí sería la forma más sencilla y de baja tecnología para llevarlo a cabo. Go ahead.
Besides just making sure you're, eating enough, kind of getting enough sleep.
Aparte de asegurar que está comiendo lo suficiente y durmiendo lo suficiente.
So I don't know if you want to ask if that's if there's any other like follow-up.
Does anyone have any other questions there?
Pregunta si hay seguimiento, si hay preguntas sobre eso, pregunta para seguirse. Adelante.
I know travel can be pretty tough in the minors, which is like something you just have to deal with.
Go ahead.
That's it for the questions that I have. No tengo alguna otra pregunta. Go ahead, Michael. Entonces, Michael.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can talk a little bit about like what kind of like stands out to like organization.
Okay. Podemos platicar un poco sobre lo que destaca a una organización. Go ahead.
For pitchers, obviously just like throwing velocity will be a big one.
Para los lanzadores, por ejemplo, obviamente la velocidad sería un punto clave. Go ahead.
Kind of like pitch movement is the other big one.
Y el otro es el movimiento del lanzamiento.
And like a big piece is like, you know, how many guys are you striking out as a pitcher?
Y una pieza clave sería cuántos ponches tiene usted en su actuación. Go ahead.
And another thing that like kind of like a basic piece that they'll look at.
Y otra cosa básica que van a estar revisando es, go ahead.
Would be like how many, I guess, what's the swing and miss percentage on specific pieces?
¿Cuál es su ratio o su porcentaje de swings y no contactos por lanzamiento? Por lanzamiento y no contacto del bat con cada uno.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, swing and misses is definitely a big one on the pitching side.
El swing y miss sí es un factor grande. Go ahead.
And then Max, on the hitting side, I know like bat speed is another. You want to talk a little bit about
Él
like
dice
how that
Max,
works on the hitting
sí
side?
se sabe que es un factor enorme lo que es velocidad del batear. Go ahead.
Yeah, the next one would be in zone swing decisions.
El próximo sería las decisiones que se toma en zona. In zone meaning in strike zone, correct? So you get that?
Right.
Okay. En lo que es el zona del strike. Go ahead.
And obviously exit velocity. So how hard are you hitting the ball?
Y obviamente lo que es velocidad de salida de pelota para ver la fuerza con que se está bateando. Go ahead.
Another big one is hot zone swing percentage. So how often are you swinging in your like particular hot zone?
Y otra medida sería cuando usted está haciendo el swing en lo que es la zona caliente, lo que es su zona preferida. Go ahead.
And yeah, I think swing and miss percentage would be another large
Y
one.
luego el porcentaje de swings contra swings faltantes, los swings de contacto contra swings faltantes sería otro factor clave. Go ahead.
Those are the main real important ones that
Esos
they
son
should be aware of.
los esenciales, los factores clave. Okay.
Yeah, I think to kind of like narrow it down even further.
Para refinarlo más aún. Go ahead, Michael.
For pitchers, where do your pitches get the most swing and misses?
Para los lanzadores, ¿en qué lugar reciben sus lanzamientos el porcentaje más alto de faltas o falta de contacto? Go ahead.
And then basically how often can you throw them there? So like your
Y-
command of those pitches?
Y básicamente, ¿qué tan frecuente usted puede llegar a esa zona? O sea, frecuencia de atinar dentro de esa zona. Go ahead.
And on the hitting side, you know, what pitches do you hit the hardest or what
Y por el-
location of the zone?
Y por el lado del bateador, ¿cuál es la zona en que usted hace más contacto fuerte dentro de esa zona? Go ahead.
And then can you basically, you know, not swing at the ones you're bad at and wait to swing at the ones that you're good at?
Y básicamente, si usted tiene la disciplina para abstener de hacer swing contra las áreas en que no tienen habilidad o no tienen don de hacer contacto, contra el esperar para asegurar que sí hacen contacto cuando su área dulce. Go ahead.
So that's also like what scouting, you know, what front office guys and scouting people will look for.
Eso es lo que en las oficinas o las áreas de los scouts y de la oficina delantera están buscando. Go ahead.
And it'll also be what we'll look for in an assessment.
Y también es lo que nosotros estamos evaluando, buscando en una evaluación de talento.
So like on the pitching side, we'll look into like what kind of pitches work best with your mechanics.
Por el lado del lanzamiento, ¿qué clase de picheo sirve mejor para sus mecánicas o sus mecánicas? Go ahead.
So like what your arm slot is, what pitches you throw, maybe what tweaks you can make.
I'm sorry, did you say arm size? I couldn't hear what that word was.
Arm slot.
Arm
I don't
slot.
know.
What is
Yeah.
that? Can you help me? Can someone help me with that phrase?
Basically like, yeah, I don't know, Simon, can you think of a good way to?
El posición del brazo y el mano cuando release, cuando tirar.
Okay,
Yeah,
sí, cuando se suelta. Okay, arm slot. Go ahead. Muy bien.
Okay, yeah. Like release and pitch movement, I guess
El
is a good one.
movimiento y el lugar del relajar, de que salga la pelota de la mano. Go ahead.
And then on hitting, it's a little bit different, but still similar themes.
Y cuando se trata del bateador, de batear, es algo parecido, parecido los temas. Go ahead.
To like what your mechanics are, but basically being able to hit the ball hard in the air, pull side is very important.
Revisando su mecánica, asegurando que cuando le hacen pull, que es contacto fuerte. Go ahead.
So Max, I don't know if there's anything too specific to like expand on there, if that kind of covers the
Si hay
big
algo que quiere profundizar.
Yeah, we'll look at the biomechanics and just how your sequence moves in your swing.
Revisamos la biomecánica, cómo está la secuencia de su swing. Go ahead.
So using that, we want to see how efficient you're going to be moving the bat through the hitting zone.
Utilizando ese técnico, vamos a estar analizando el movimiento del bat por medio del zona de su strike. Go ahead.
And then after that, we'll use bat sensors to see in which direction you're going to be moving the bat through the hitting zone.
Y posteriormente se utilizan los sensores para saber en qué sentido va el bat durante el tiempo que está en la zona de los strikes. Go ahead.
So we want to find out if you have a slightly uphill or level or downhill swing.
Entonces queremos determinar si se tiene una inclinación para arriba o para abajo o nivelado durante el swing. Go ahead.
And then we'll also look at your path as it moves through. So is it out to in or in to out?
Y también el camino del swing para ver si está dentro hacia afuera o fuera hacia adentro. Go ahead.
Based off of what we find from there, we'll make programming and drill changes for.
Y luego basado en lo que vemos ahí, haremos la recomendación, los términos de la práctica. Go ahead.
That's pretty much everything from the hitting side.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
¿Alguna duda?
Sorry, I think I'll just say like a lot of it is maximizing your strengths.
Mucho de esto tiene que ver con la maximización de las fuerzas que ya tienen.
But open to seeing if there's any kind of like specific questions.
Pero estamos abiertos a cualquier tipo de pregunta específica.
Carlos mentioned that up in the zone, he gets the most swings and misses. Can we talk a little bit about pitch location, how it relates to pitch movement?
Preguntas, Simon, si se puede hablar de lo que es movimiento del picheo, y comenta que Carlos, what was it that Carlos had said, Simon, that you wanted to
he
reference?
gets the most swings and misses when he throws pitches up in the zone.
Él recibe los más swings con aire o con faltantes cuando está arriba en la zona del strike.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So I think for fastballs, if they spin a lot or have like a high spin rate.
Para las rectas, si tienen mucho giro o un nivel alto de girar, go ahead.
That pitch will drop less than other pitches.
Ese lanzamiento va a descender o bajarse menos que los demás lanzamientos.
So it can be like confusing to a hitter based on what they expect.
Entonces se confunde al bateador basado en lo que está esperando.
And then a lot of hitters also don't have a very flat swing, so they struggle with they can struggle with the pitches at the top of the zone.
Entonces, muchos bateadores no tienen un swing plano y por eso batallan muchísimo con los picheos o los lanzamientos que tienen. How do you say the pitchers the pitches that at what point they come into the zone, but they have the battle with it?
If they come in at the top of the zone,
oh,
so
que
especially
si
on
entran por
fastballs.
arriba, si entran por arriba encima en la zona del strike. Okay, go ahead.
So it's you can basically look at like certain pitch movements.
Entonces se puede ver básicamente unos movimientos del picheo.
And those would be better in certain parts of the strike zone.
Y esos van a ser mejores en ciertas partes de la zona.
So having a fastball that has a high amount of what we may call lift or vertical break.
Entonces, teniendo lo que se llama una recta, que tienen una subida, un lift dentro de la zona. Go ahead.
Those pitches do best at the very top of this. They'll do best at the top of the strike zone.
Esos lanzamientos están en mucho mejor, están mucho más en su gloria arriba en la zona de strike. Go ahead.
Yeah. Simon, I don't know if there's anything other like specific with other pitches you want to kind of like go into there.
I have something we might want to add on the flip side is
Yo
that
tengo algo que
pitch does
quiero agregar que también por el otro lado de la moneda, dice Max. Okay, go ahead.
the pitch that Michael just explained that does well at the top of the zone will not perform very well at the bottom of the zone.
Ahí dice lo que acaba de explicar Michael, que es buenísimo en la zona, parte alta de la zona. Al contrario, para abajo en la zona va a tener el efecto contrario. Go ahead.
So because the pitch doesn't drop as much as hitters are used to,
Debido a que no se baje tanto como los bateadores se acostumbren,
the hitter will likely be able to hit a line drive rather than a ground ball for that fastball.
El bateador va a poder, en vez de batear algo por terrestre o tierra, más probable va a tener un line drive, un recta de alto impacto fuera del bat. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a good example of, I'll continue after. It's a good example of like the release and like pitch movement combining with command.
Es un buen ejemplo de lo que es let's go, pitch, go walk me through that sequence.
Pitch movement.
Okay, movimiento del pitch.
The release point.
El punto de soltar.
And command.
Y el dominio.
Working together.
Combinando para crear el pitch ideal. Got it.
Yep. So if we like assess a pitcher, we'll try to see like where that overlap is, you know, to try to train them to, you know, throw good pitches basically where they work best.
Entonces, si estamos evaluando un lanzador, va a ser medir cada uno de esas fuerzas y determinar cuál es su fuerza última, su fuerza máxima. Go ahead.
And then, you know, on the hitting side, just knowing what pitches you hit best also works with, you know, what are you working on mechanically?
Y por el lado del bateo, saber cuáles son su fuerza y la mecánica para maximizar o aprovechar lo que son sus habilidades. Go ahead.
And what pitches you want to swing at, basically.
Y cuáles son los lanzamientos que les antoje para hacer swing.
Yep.
Very good. Okay.
¿Tiene una otra pregunta? Anyone have any other questions? We have Michael and Max for a few more minutes. Tenemos Michael y Max por 5 minutos más.
That's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
No other questions. That's great. That was a lot to. Para ustedes, los parlantes español, me dedico a aprender lo que son las frases esas para el futuro. Pero we made, the point was made at each one of those. Nothing was lost for Michael and for Max. Thank you. Okay, pues sin mayor pregunta, ¿no, Simon? That's it, that's it.
Michael and Max, you want to just finish up?
Yeah. I just want to thank you guys for having us. If you guys have any other questions, whether it's have plenty of blogs or some free training stuff, more than willing to send them your way and answer any questions you guys have on them.
Dice Michael que les agradece el tiempo y que si tienen algún deseo, alguna duda o deseo para material libre, que lo avise. Okay, and you, Max?
Just feel free to reach out if there's anything else you guys want to learn or find out about. We're an open book and we love to share.
Okay, que también sienta ustedes por favor la libertad de preguntarnos cualquier cosa y que gracias por la voluntad y la disposición para estar aprendiendo, que nos eleva a todos. Okay. Good enough. I would say
Thank
that.
you guys all for coming. Again, we'll be doing these webinars bi-weekly until spring training.
Dice Simon que
gracias.
vamos a hacer bisemanalmente esas conferencias Zoom o webinar, le dice él, antes del training, antes del entrenamiento de primavera. Before spring training, you said?
Yep.
Yes, okay. Antes del entrenamiento de primavera, the spring training.
And again, if anyone has any questions, my email's in the chat. Si alguien tiene pregunta, envíame un correo electrónico. Es en el chat. Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you guys all for coming. Y que tengas una buena noche. Have a good night, guys.
Adios.
Thank you,
Buenas noches
thank you.
todos. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys. You bet.
See you guys.
See you.
Thanks, everyone.